So, welcome to Season 12 Next Gen. This is the Modern Touring Cars, and we're here for round number 7 at Snetterton 300 to start the important part of the season as we watch Ginge have a bit of a moment out of the Montreal hairpin. This is crunch time pretty much for all the drivers. These final 6 races, the next 3 will determine whether you're in the fight. The final 3 determines who will win the outright season. But joining me tonight, as last week at Silverstone, is Phil from NXTGEN. Good evening, Phil. How are you, mate?
Good evening. Good evening. Looking forward to this one. Should be a very good race. Good track for these cars, really good track.
Definitely. I mean, at the moment, who are you thinking are the possible winners for tonight?
So, from last week, I think Slidergaff's shown very good potential. He was really good through the corners. It's just obviously this has got a very long straight, so again it's probably going to be McGann. McGann's all at the front. I don't know, Boy Raxer, he's obviously done well in the Group A race tonight as well, so he'll definitely be one to watch tonight. Shown good pace last week as well. Back end coming out there, he's well controlled down the bomb hole, so yeah, my money will go on Boy Raxer tonight.
Not a bad pick. I mean, I think for me it's going to be Omega tonight. I mean, he's always at the sharp end of this grid. Shadowstalker there on the grass. That's at Nelson. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah.
He's always at the sharp end of this grid, and he enjoys the McGann. He's the current leader as well for this, so he'll be looking to hopefully extend that advantage as we go through the back end of the season. So I think motivation and probably momentum still on his side going into this part of the season.
Yeah, I think Boy Raxer was his first race last week, so I mean I don't think it's going to be possible for him to win the season anyway. He's just sort of doing it for bragging rights. So Amiga will want to keep the likes of Boy Raxer from scoring the big points, really. So it allows him to lengthen his gap at the top of the table. Yeah, Amiga will definitely want to watch as well.
I guess that's the biggest thing for the likes of the championship contenders like Omega and Co. is that you have fillers like Boy Raxer, there he is, it's coming through Williams, who have nothing to lose. I mean, they can quite literally go in and attack everyone. They don't have to finish the race in reality. They just come in and race for a good time. Obviously, they're all going to be clean about it, but they will probably make slightly more dangerous moves than the championship leaders at this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Boy Raxer, I mean, I've watched him race a few times. He's not one that really gets into any trouble. He could be one of them that goes for the moves, or he could be, you know, he might play it safe and think, do I want to get into a scrap with a league leader here, or do I just sort of make it easy for him to get past it? It's one of them. I've not really seen Boy Raxer race enough to know what his racing style is like. I mean, Amiga's right on his tail in qualifying here. So Boy Raxer's just gone into 4th.
Omega
first at the moment. Oh, it's Amiga who's in 1st at the moment, so half a second to the good as well.
Yeah, and a good time, and that's half a second to Fraser as well, who is, also as we know, Renault Esports finalist this year, so he's definitely good in that McGann.
Yeah, I meant, when I ever commentate on the Clio Cup, I mentioned that quite a lot, that he was the PS4 finalist in the Renault Esports on Project Cars 2. It was no easy feat to get there. He fought his way through quite a lot of people. And he did well to get to the final, so he loves the McGann, and he always uses this livery as well. He'll never see him out of a different livery, so yeah, he's definitely not one to discount tonight. He'll be one to watch as well. He's up on his time at the moment. Ooh, I think that was Jim's there getting two-wheel action. That section of the track as well, going into chicane, sometimes you do see some people getting caught out by it, but just the back end can just come out, but everyone seems quite controlled through it this evening.
Yeah, we did have a few. Oh, that was Fraser. Big slide through Murray's. Very well done to hold it, but that's ruined his lap time there.
Yeah, it was Jim's that got on two wheels hitting the curbs. You do need to be careful of the curbs on this track. They're absolutely massive.
Especially through Nelson's as well. I mean, that is the end of qualifying as well, so obviously only 5 minutes for these cars. Not an easy...
Nice. Sorry, go on.
It's not an easy feat to get a decent lap in with only 5 minutes on the clock. And who's that?
By that time, your tyres still aren't really at optimum race temperature. They're probably just getting to the point at the 5 minute mark of getting to the good stage. It's nice to see Ginge back at the top of the field there. Anyway, he's had a little bit of an off season this one. He hasn't really had as much time anymore to practice, so he'll be pleased he's starting at the front.
But with qualifying over, here is the grid. Martin sets a sensational time of a 153.6 to be top of that table. Scooby G is in second place, Omega third, Fraser fourth, Ginge is in fifth, Jamie sixth, Edu 7th, Boyraxer is in 8th, Whitford is in 9th, Slidergas in 10th. Adam Morris, his debut round here in the Moderns, is currently in 11th. Tim is 12th, One High Mofo is in 13th, Shadowstalker 14th. Jack didn't set a time, which is going to be very displeasing to him in that Astra. And Envoy Extreme disconnected. But that Astra's got a lot of work ahead of him.
I'll tell you what, there's so much changed on that table while we were chatting away there, didn't he? I mean, obviously, most of the people at the front have the NGR tag at the start of the name, so it's quite hard to notice if there is a change, really. But yeah, big changes at the end of qualifying there.
Well, here we go. We're all green here at Snetterton for 13 laps of the Snetterton 300 track, and that's a good start from Martin. Who is that? That's Whitford behind, making an absolute stormer of a start with the BMW. Rail drivers who enter Ritchie's for the first time. Omega looking to go around the outside of Scooby there. Ginge off a bit wide as we come up to Montreal for the first time.
Oh, it's very, very close. Everyone's side by side.
Who's that very wide?
Oh,
bumping and barging. Touring car-esque racing right now. But we look at... We've all got away very clean. That's Ginge running on wide through Palmer. He'll get back on, but he's lost a lot of places.
Yeah, he has lost a lot. He had a great qualifying session, but unfortunately he's been out-muscled by a few of the cars there. I think that's Jack. Is it in an Astra who's made up to 12 now, so he's making good headway at the moment.
Slightly different livery that for Jack as well. And that's Ginge having issues again up ahead as we went through Hamilton and into Oggies.
Left the door wide open there. Jack's got to say thank you very much and just go past him on the inside now. Now Jack might struggle with the force of power of this Astra against the Megans, but he's holding his place here against Ginge quite well. Ginge having a look. And you can just see the Astra being out-muscled by the Megans there. There's One High Mofo just in front of him. Two wheels on the dirt.
Ooh, two wheels. Oh, that is a big moment from Jack. And Ginge off wide.
How long did he hold that two wheel for then?
I think he's probably just earned a PlayStation trophy for holding that two wheels. But a fantastic bit of driving that is. Obviously, as most people notice, Jack has got a different livery on. That is a new livery that was added to Project Cars in the last update, as is Adam Morris's livery. So very nice to see these new liveries being used. As Ginge sends one up the inside of Adam Morris at Montreal.
Does he hold it?
And I don't think he's quite clear yet. No, he's not completely clear. Adam Morris is still there.
He has managed to get past. It's a good move that by Ginger. Oh, there's Tim getting a little bit out of shape.
And Shadow Stalker will go past.
Well, there's my prediction for the win, so not coming into play just at the moment.
Long race ahead of him though. Very long race. Back at the front though, and Martin still leads from his pole position. Omega currently in second with Scooby third. Whitford in that BMW doing a good job in fourth with Boyrexa in fifth. Jamie sixth. One High Mofo has Ginge, who is rocketed back up through the field into eighth, but he's got issues with Jack alongside him going into Nelson up towards the bomb hole.
Now it looks like Fraser's slipped down the order a little bit as well, so I don't know if he's had a little bit of a moment, but he's currently in. Oh, there's Ginge. Two wheels touch the grass, and that says all Fraser and excuse me, Fraser coming together with someone just there.
There's Fraser. There's Edu. I wonder if it's Edu they had a bit of a bash with.
I think it was the guy just in front of Ginge.
That was Adam Morris. So
Adam Morris, I think it was.
But Edu looking around the outside of Ginge here at Palmer.
Oh, he's holding it very wide again.
Oh, big T-bone.
Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah, he just went very wide. It's the same what happened to Ginge on the previous lap. Back tyres just hit there's no grip, and it just sends the cars flying.
And unfortunately for Fraser, wrong place, wrong time there, to be honest.
Yeah. But that is racing.
Back at the front, and we have missed it, but Omega has got past Martin for the lead.
Just about. Martin's got some great pace. Ooh.
On board.
I think Martin feels that may have been more of him to play, so fair racing rules, he just slows down and just lets Omega go out in front. It's a tricky part of the track. Obviously nothing intentional from Martin's part. You go in side by side, it's one of those things that can happen.
Definitely a tricky place to overtake that through Brundle. I mean, the back end does always want to swap ends, and if that does happen, if you're on the inside, unfortunately, you've nowhere to go. So it could be a bit of half six Martin's way, half a dozen the other, dependent on what happened with Omega's car. But very unfortunate. Puts them now down outside the podium positions, because now Scooby does lead from Whitford, who has Boyrexa completely up his chuff.
Lovely camera angle here on the bonnet of Boyrexa. He's got Whitford just in front of him.
So we enter Agostini on the bumper cam, looking to square the corner up, get a better exit. Because
that BMW is very good through the corners.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't say he's very good so much around the corners. He's just very good in the traction zones at the moment.
Oh!
Very close up from Boyrexa.
Squeaky bum moment there, but everyone comes out still going the right way.
Yeah, that BMW is very good in the traction zones. It does pull away from the corner beautifully compared to the front wheel drives. So, advantage through the corners is definitely front wheel drive. But can Boyrexa make that work for him?
He certainly has now. Slight misjudgment of error there from Whitford, and allow the door to be opened for Boy Raxer. So Boy Raxer up to second now.
Yeah, only his second modern touring car race at the moment. Now, he doesn't tend to like front-wheel drive, does Boy Raxer? And he's certainly enjoying this Megane.
Was it Boy Raxer that I called for the win? Or did I say slider gas?
You said slider. Well, I think you had like a bit of a hesitancy between everyone. You're like,
yeah, I just said everyone's name. To be honest, you can't lose that way then.
I love that
pushing hard now.
See, running the number one car as he did last season, but this season he is genuinely the number one car. Defending his title this season after doing the triple touring car leagues last season. Because obviously last season there was no Monday night Clios, so he had the Group A's, the modern touring cars, and the Saturday Clio sponsored by Max Coates. But he's having a bit more of a difficult time defending his Group A title this season, and he's only just really ahead of the pack for the moderns.
Yeah, a lot of people have stepped up the game this season. They're not making it easy for him.
We watched Jack in that newly painted Astra around the paddock earlier, and that thing is still wet, but he's got one high mofo behind him at the moment in his BMW.
You can just see the power difference between the Astra and the other cars, though. Whether obviously it's the slipstream that comes into play as well, but it's a real shame.
Now, we don't normally look at stuff in the back, but here we go. We have Tim and Shadowstalker here fighting out to not be the winner of the wooden spoon. Not a good title to win that, the wooden spoon of the race.
Yeah. Both of them taking a very similar line.
So the Shadowstalker, the only Mercedes on the grid. And he's locked up.
Oh, yeah. That is really one of those corners that you have to think about 2 corners ahead. If you get your entry into that from the bomb hole, really, if you haven't got your car lined up for the right line, it makes that last corner very, very, very tricky.
Back with Jack though as they enter Agostini for the 6th time of 13 tonight, and we're on board with Adam Morris on his roof as they enter Hamilton and up towards Oggies, and that's a good run from Adam Morris. Couldn't use it though into Oggies.
Yeah, that BMW in his way at the moment. It's going for a slow in fast out here.
Again, I must admit, obviously, Adam Morris, this is his debut in the moderns because he didn't do Silverstone last week. Again, not really a fan of front-wheel drive. One high movo's gone.
I mentioned that before, it's just so easy for the back end to come out on that part of the track. It's happened to me on numerous occasions.
Actually, it's worse in a rear-wheel drive car because unfortunately you can't put opposite lock and deck the throttle, because if you do that it just spins anyway. So unfortunately it's like doomed either way, whereas if it was a Megane, put the throttle back in, you probably have a chance of saving it.
I mean, it's not over for one high mofo. It's just one of those now that you've got to get your head down and just get back in the zone and just try and make up as many places as you can, really. But it's certainly not over for him. He's got, there's the guys in front aren't that far in front, and as we've seen tonight, anyone can make an easy mistake.
Back at the front, and the top 3 stalemate at the moment. Omega's still trying to catch us at the back of Whitford here. And Tim's now got a penalty. Edu down in 13th. Phil's pick is currently gradually coming up through the field.
A little bit of a bruised BMW for slider gas there as well. Oh, Edu again locks up on that corner. Keeps his car going though.
Back up to this battle for 7th, and Adam Morris is closed right in on the Astra. Now, will we see the difference of pace between McGann and Astra yet again? Down the Bentley straight. I think Jack will be quite glad the fact they're not coming straight from Montreal down the straight. Just that, I think that little extra bit of straight would have really hurt him tonight.
Yeah.
It's amazing, it's such a little bit of straight missing, but it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, it can really make or break. He's starting to make that Astra as wide as possible to stop the advancement of Adam Morris. Adam Morris just playing it cool though, he's just sticking with him. On board with Adam now. On lap 8 of 13.
Bit of a wobble that from Jack.
Ooh. Is he going to go around the outside? He's going to try it. Oh, Jack
switch
closed
back
the door on him down the inside. Proper touring car action going on now.
So we head up to Agostini then for the 8th time. Not really seeing much of the leaders, not really close battles going on at the moment. But Adam Morris coming up to Hamilton. Up to Oggies and towards Williams after that. Big sausage curve, don't want to be hitting that. None of them do. And towards Williams for the 8th time. I must admit, the biggest thing saving that Astra onto this back straight is that of Williams' corner. That Astra is very, very good through the corners.
Yeah, it's Adam Morris must be thinking what can he possibly do, because every time he's catching up to him it's right at the end and then it's just onto the twisty. Oh, Jack made a little bit of a mistake there. That's allowed Adam Morris to catch right up to him through the bomb hole.
And here comes Ginge as well for good company, who does have a penalty. Ginge does have a penalty.
So Ginge really came from nowhere from that. So, oh, again, two-wheel action from Jack. That's going to allow Adam Morris to get past now.
Using all the track and the grass.
I was about to say that Adam Morris is going to have to start looking at defending from Ginge as well, because really he had such a good run, he caught up to him in no time, but yeah, Adam Morris has got past, and now it's Jack that's got to do defending against Ginge.
How late on the brakes is Ginge into Montreal?
I tell you what, if that had paid off, need to be careful going on the dirt with those tyres.
He's going to try and switch it back, I think, through Palmer, is he? No. Jack keeps it to the inside, and that's going to allow a run from Ginge. I don't think that was the cleverest of ideas, that, from Jack.
Yeah, Jack left the door wide open there.
And Ginge says thank you very much around the outside of Agostini. You could see Ginge... Oh, and Ginge has clipped the grass at Hamilton, and he's hit Jack into Oggies.
That's unfortunate for Jack there.
Yet again, another driver, wrong place, wrong time. Fraser's lost a couple of positions. He's now down to 13th. I think this one is one for the bin for Fraser.
A lot of damage on his car. I think that's from the connection. Oh, there's one high mofo. Luckily, car stops out of the way of the traffic. that would have been a very brown pant moment for Edu and Fraser heading towards him then.
I think even one high mofo going through that sideways and stopping on the track would have been interesting for him. Update on the wooden spoon, I think, and Shadowstalker does have the 14th place back from Tim. So that battle still continues, a couple of seconds between them, but hopefully that will close up. Now we haven't seen much of this man this race, Scooby G, who's had a pretty quiet race.
Yeah, he's just needs to concentrate on getting. He doesn't really have to push too hard. He's got almost a 4-second advantage to the goods, so he can just sort of concentrate on taking a smooth line in through the corners. Doesn't really have to push it. Yeah, you can see he's not pushing too hard.
There's
This
Martin.
Guy, NGL Martin.
Martin has actually got past Omega since we last saw this little battle. So that's good to see him stick it to the current championship leader and defending champion. And behind Omega we have this man, Jamie FL30, another one who's been a bit quiet, just going about his business. And now he's starting to find himself in a battle for the top 5.
Yeah, see Omega pushing hard, he's hitting the curbs maybe a little bit too hard, it's unsettling the car, he's not getting quite the drive through the corners as he probably wants to.
Oh, that's slide gas.
Oh, and that was Edu, so Edu and Slider Gas come together now. Heavy damage on the BMW. I presume it's just visual damage that's on it. It's not affecting car performance.
It is only visual. It is for visual effects to show you how the car would look after that sort of an accident.
I mean, it's looking more like a BTCC race now. We've got a little bit of damage on the cars. I have to admit that.
Definitely. I mean, that is some crunching damage on the BMW there for Slider Gas. And it was a shame he was on the back of Jack, who now has Fraser for company. It doesn't get easy for Jack at all, does it, this race?
No. Fraser going for the cut back here. Is he going to...
Oh, bit of rubbing.
Side by side.
That Astra looking...
behind Jack.
That Astra looking about as clean as a touring car gets at the moment.
Yeah, it's still in mint condition.
It's the enter Agostini for the 11th time. Fraser tries to go around the outside, looks for a switchback. Well defended from Jack. He's parked that on the apex beautifully.
It's almost pulled the Gandalf there. It's just no one will pass.
At the front, and we have a gaggle of cars for 3rd place. Oh, and it is carnage through Nelson's.
Something's got to give when you've got 4 cars that close. Something's always going to give.
And there's your big winner. Omega now on the podium, but Jamie FL30 right behind him as we head on to the penultimate lap.
I think Jamie could do it. I think Jamie could get this place off Omega. But Whitford looking very good in that BMW, down in 5th at the moment. Oh, cursed that, didn't I? Sorry, Whitford.
So Whitford down 6th. He does have a penalty as well, unfortunately, so that's not going to help his cause at all this race. Fraser has now got past Jack, and Jack's nightmares continue. Now he has the Spanish Bull right behind him in the form of Edu in a Megane.
Luck's not been on Edu's side tonight either, unfortunately. But the grass has definitely caught a few of them out.
Through Palmer they come for the penultimate time. Up towards Agostini, Jack immediately defensive. He's got nothing else to do other than being defensive in that Astra. It's been an appalling car around Snetterton.
Good defensive driving Jack, but unfortunately he's now got the inside line. No, he hasn't. Jack has. Jack taking that inside line again. He's driving so well in that Astra. On board with Edu here as he tries to get past Jack.
This is where the McGann's going to be strong, up into Brundle and Nelson. But I gotta say, I mean, I think Jack was expecting that Astra to be critically bad around here. I think he was expecting it, but potentially not this bad.
Oh no!
Big leap.
It looked like Edu sort of lost a little bit of control there as well, but just as he was gaining control, Jack lost it as well. So lucky for Edu that Jack did lose it, because he, you know, the fight probably would have been over for Edu at that point. Sadly for Jack.
You could say Jack was going leaps and bounds with that Astra after that little bonnie hop over the curb.
I think for most airtime, Jack will win that award tonight.
Well, he's had the most two-wheel action and the best airtime, so he's winning lots of awards that unfortunately don't give any points.
Oh, is John Mark going to make it down the inside here? No, he's not. Just not enough in it.
On
These
board
three are absolutely stuck together at the moment.
I tell you what, Jamie will really want this podium place from Omega. He really will want it.
Jamie's got a good drive here. I can see something coming. It's just building up.
Into Brundle they come, side by side.
Jamie's done it! Jamie's done it! What an absolute move!
That is a sensational move from Jamie F30. He takes third place at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. Around the outside of Brundle, one of the hardest moves to make, but Scooby will win at the Snetterton 300. An easy race win for him, followed by Boyrax. A great second race for him. Jamie F30, will he come home in that third place? The answer is yes. A cracking move to complete the podium. A massive roll in Jamie style.
His trademark flip there. I was watching it. I think it was about 2 laps ago. It's just how composed Jamie looked and just how much attack he was on. I just thought that Jamie was going to do it. I didn't think he was going to do it in quite that style.
Jack's redone Edu. Jack has actually repassed Edu on circuit, and he's going to come home for 10th place. A great defensive drive from Jack.
Probably with one of the most undamaged cars on the track at the moment. One IMOFO, yeah, I'd probably say is in that club as well.
Now don't forget, Edu had penalties, so he's behind one Mofo in this race. There comes Slider Gas. The wooden spoon.
Oh no!
But Tim does have penalties. Tim has a penalty, and if it's only a second, he might get away with it.
Ooh,
let's find out.
Wait for the...
So Scooby does win from Boyrax now. Even though the results say Omega Martin, I think Jamie will be taking third place. From Omega, from Martin. Adam Morris is 6th, Whitford 7th, Ginge is in 8th, Fraser 9th, Jack is in 10th place. A fantastic drive from the Astroman. One Mofo 11th, Edu is in 12th, Slidergas 13th, Shadow Stalker does take 14th, with Tim having a 1 second penalty, which puts him in that wooden spoon position.
Yeah, that's twice we saw Shadow Stalker just get caught out by that final corner, and Tim able to get past. Luckily for Shadow Stalker, the penalty did come into effect. But yeah, definitely Jamie F30. It says he's been pushed down to 5th there.
Yeah, I don't think that's something to do with the game when he rolled over the line.
Possibly. Okay. Yeah. No, it's Jamie's definitely scored third, then Amiga, then Martin. Jamie definitely got third in that with that fantastic move.
So your driver of the night then?
Driver of the night. I mean, we didn't see a lot of Scooby. Sort of kept out of trouble. I feel like I want to give my driver of the night. Oh, see, it's with Jamie with that move there. He's sort of tainted my decision with that one move. But I'd like to say I'd give it to Jack. Even though he finished 10th, the Astra is just so hard to deal with the Megans, and he put up one hell of a fight, and he lost a couple of places from getting bumped about a little bit. I think it was Jins that made contact with him, so that sort of knocked him down. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Jack just for he defended so well, and he defended for quite long as well. So he'll get my driver of the night award.
So I'm going to agree with you on that one. That was pretty much my pick from seeing those results. Getting a top 10 out of that Astra and defending so well. Definitely one for the driver's books. But that is round 7 from the Monday Night Tourers. Now round 8 will come from Donington Park National, probably a group favourite, and one for some sensational racing.
That'll definitely provide some bumper to bumper racing. That one on the shorter layout circuit of the circuit as well. So there'll definitely be some talking points after that race.
But from myself and Phil tonight, thank you for watching. I mean, it's been a pleasure to watch this and commentate it. I think it's fantastic racing tonight.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I said I can't. I'd love to get on every week. It's not always possible, but it's been good that I've been able to do it the last 2 weeks. We'll try and work on where I try not to interrupt as much, sort of thing. But it's hard especially when you see action going on. It's hard to sort of both keep quiet at the same time. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back and we can do some more dual commentary again. But yeah, if we can get on next week, I'll be back to join you for the talk through the Donington race.
Definitely, I mean, it's a pleasure having two different voices. I mean, obviously, get to pick out on a lot more. But from us tonight, thank you all for watching. Do join us next week for Donington National, as it's going to be a cracker as always. But next up is going to be the Clios on a separate news stream. I'm driving in that, so you'll be seeing my point of view. But from me and Phil,
Jordan, if you want to just tell everyone, because obviously this is being streamed on your YouTube channel and the NXTGEN channel as well. So the Clio Cup won't be streamed on the NXTGEN channel, but if you do want to just let everyone know who's watching on the NXTGEN channel what your channel is, they can go and switch over to that one.
Definitely, JPH_99, same as my user tag on PSN. It's giving me a crack. I mean, if you do follow the NXTGEN page as well, it will be posted in there, the stream. So everything, and also on Twitter if I get a chance to. But we'll be coming again from Snetterton 300 with the Clios from my point of view. But from us tonight, do come back next week for more action. But thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.